Can I sue Amazon? That is a question I get all of the time. And if you're an Amazon seller, generally the answer is no, you cannot. But you can go to arbitration. This is another way of resolving issues, but it's somewhat limited in what actually makes sense and what's worth your time and money to actually go to arbitration. Okay, so number one, if your account is suspended, that is not a reason or not a good reason to go to arbitration. You can go, you can file a demand. In my experience, it's not going to be successful. There are two main reasons that you should go to arbitration. Account suspensions are not one of them. Amazon will not reinstate the account as a result of arbitration. However, if you have inventory issues, let's say Amazon destroyed your inventory, misplaced it, lost it, that is a good reason to go to arbitration. And in the past, it's been successful. Another is Amazon withholding your funds. Again, a good reason to go to arbitration. Now, if you only have a few $1,000s that Amazon's withholding, or they lost $500 worth of inventory, it's not going to make a lot of sense for the simple reason that the arbitration process is going to cost you more than what you lost. So generally speaking, our firm goes about, if it's $30,000 or more in funds issues or inventory issues, that's when we say, okay, that's where we're getting to the point where it might be worth arbitration. Like I said, if it's $5,000, $10,000, probably a little bit too low because the expense, it's too close that it's even really going to make a lot of sense. You have to pay attorneys, you have to pay arbitration fees. If it goes to a hearing, it gets more expensive. So that's a very brief breakdown on the Amazon arbitration process.
Yeah, I also want to add to that, David, that I'm a seller myself. So sometimes Amazon does, they lose their inventory, they break it, and that kind of sucks. But what we do, sometimes we work with companies that help us get reimbursed. So they're looking for these lost inventory and all these things. And if they do find it, they can kind of help you get your money back. So I probably would use those guys first, because sometimes you see that, say you send 1,000 units and you see that zero were like you received. So you're panicking, like, what the hell? So first, you can go and try to kind of do it on your own. Just ask them, where's my inventory? And recently they have said that they're kind of changing the reimbursement. Maybe you've seen that with kind of this
Yep.
policy, right? So now it's going to be, I guess they're saying that they're going to be taking more action on reimbursing sellers. And also they're shortening the window of asking for a reimbursement. So anyway, but you're saying, I guess, even after that, still like you can have a problem where inventory is missing, and even though these companies did their best, and in that case it's good to then they take action with this arbitration thing, correct?
Exactly. And just to add to that, yeah, I mean, generally speaking, it's always best to try resolving it on your own. There are companies that do help with reimbursements. I know Getida is
Yeah.
great. I personally have met a lot of the individuals that work for that company and the founder as well, actually. So they're a great option. If both of those fail, that's where it starts to get, okay, what
Yeah.
else can we do? And that's where the arbitration process comes in. There's also appeals you can submit. So there are certainly a number of things that you should do before. This is more of if all of those options
Hmm.
fail. This is certainly not the first option. It's probably
Yeah.
not even the second. It's more like the fourth or fifth.
Hmm.
But we get a lot of those questions. So that's
Yeah.
why we decided to discuss it, very briefly today.
Yeah, definitely, man. Yeah, Getida also, I'm a client. We're using their services for almost 2 years now, I think. And yeah, they're constantly talking to Amazon, like reimbursing lost items and misplacement of fees and whatnot. So I'll drop a link to them in the description. We have a video with Yoni as well, where we show how to use Getida. But yeah, man. Also, David, your contacts, we're going to leave it in the description, your website, YouTube, all the different socials, email, and on the screen is going to appear a playlist with all the videos we created together so far, I believe over 40, where we kind of tackle different problems that can happen in the Amazon legal side. So thank you, David. Thank you very much.